All right. I wanted to ask this question. Do we need to be explicit when we are sharing something? Now, what do I mean by this? That's kind of what I want to, address and talk about here briefly is when we are trying to expose evil in this world, let's say for the sake of conversation, and let's talk about abortion. Should we, when speaking on abortion or when standing at an abortion center, display graphic signs of the wicked atrocities that are taking place? I would say yes. I would say we should put those types of images before people so that they are able to see what is happening to a baby that is being slaughtered, being murdered in the womb, in a place that should be a protected place. And this is what happens. Children are being murdered in their mother's womb. And these images, while they are graphic, they're disturbing, they're heart-wrenching, heartbreaking. I don't like to see them personally myself, but I think that it conveys the type of message to show people this is what is taking place. This is what is happening. Now, in that, I think you can utilize those for the benefit of trying to bring about a response, a conversation, information, informing someone of what is actually taking place during an abortion. But that being said, I think there are times where I see brothers and sisters in Christ who are on social media who will post explicit things for the sake of sharing information about these things being sinful. Let's go for another example. While I'm saying that I think we should display and can display those images of what happens during an abortion, there's some things I don't think we should be so explicit in sharing and portraying before people. For instance, today, I was scrolling through my social media feed, and I saw an image of two female singers basically wearing nothing, and this individual, this Christian individual, is trying to portray the fact that this is sinful behavior. And it's not the first time I've seen people do this. They'll talk about women dressing, modestly, and in attempting to speak against immodest dress, they will post pictures of women who are dressed immodestly. And in this instance, it was basically, two pretty much naked women in a picture that you're sharing for the world to see and explaining why this is sinful. I don't think we really need to be that explicit in explaining the sinfulness of immodesty and the sexualization of the world around us. Artists for so long, musicians especially, have always been seeking to sexualize their music and appeal to the listeners that way. But as Christians, we don't need to share those images to speak against the wickedness that it is. Another thing I saw the other day was someone explaining a crime that someone had committed, a sexual act online, and explaining it explicitly. I don't think we have to get that explicit in the way that we explain things that have been perpetrated by someone. We can explain, hey, somebody raping someone is wrong. We don't have to go into details explaining those things as to what actually took place and detail to detail to expose the sin of it. I think we got to be more careful as Christians, not to put these things out there, not to, like with these images, put these images out before other Christians, and these Christians see these images, other men see these images, and it can cause them or possibly lead them into temptation. And so I think we need to be wise about that and not partake in those types of things. So that's my thoughts on it. Just do we really have to be that explicit when we're trying to expose sin? I think we can speak on it, be upfront about it, but do we need to be that explicit in the way that we share it on social media? That's my thoughts. Let me know what you think. You can leave messages there in the comments and tell me what you think.